Hello guys, in this lesson 2.7, you're going to learn about slide zoom and links. To have access to the slide zoom, you click on insert, and under links you have zoom. Now if you read the notes under zoom allow you present your content creatively in a non-linear way. Create an interactive table of content with summary zoom, or jump to specific slides and sections with slide zoom and section zoom. So if you click on the zoom, you have three parts of your zoom. The first one is summary zoom. So the summary zoom is going to organize your presentation so that you can present it with the zoom transition. But it's going to pick your sections, like we have graph and chart section here, and if I scroll down, we have parts of chart section and as many sections that you have. So if I click on summary zoom, and I'm going to create a blank slide at the top right here. Let me just click on this first slide so that my summary zoom will be on top of this slide. So I'm going to click on summary zoom, and it's going to show all of the slides that I have in my presentation. But if you look very well, you see that this first part is checked. This is the first section and the second section as well, which is identifying the parts of a chart. Like I explained, that a summary zoom is going to pick is going to check all of your section, because that is what is going to use to create the summary zoom. So in the summary zoom, you are going to see this. Once you click on this, it's going to allow you to navigate through the rest of the slides you have in that section, and before moving to the next section, and also show you all the slides that you have in that particular section. So if I click on insert, it's going to create a new slide or a new section, which is summary section right here. So here I have my summary zoom. So if I go to slideshow, by clicking on this, I'm going to have my my summary slide. So if I click here, this is a section and this is another section. So like, as you can see, graph and chart, and this is the second section, which is identifying the parts of a chart. So if you have like 10 sections and you have different topics in the section, you can use summary zoom to actually present your presentation. So I'm going to click on the first one. If I click on the first one, it's going to zoom in on that particular slide, and if I click, it's going to show me the next slide that I have. It's going to show me all the slides that I have within that section before coming back to summary zoom for me to select the second section. So if I click on the second section, as you can see, if I click again, it's going to show me the slide under that particular section and return back to the summary zoom. So if I have up to 5 sections, it's going to show me all of the 5 sections right here. So I'm going to click on escape to return to my normal view. So as you can see, that is how to use your summary zoom. So you must have section created. Probably this is the first topic. You have slides under it. You have second section. Another topic. You have slides under it. Third section. You have slides under it, and you can use the summary zoom. It's going to summarize all of your slide, picking the first slide in each section, so that when you click, you'll be able to present the entirety of that content or that section before moving to another section. So if we click on zoom, we have another section. We have section zoom. So if I come over here, I'm just going to create a new slide. I'm going to create a new slide right here. Then I'm going to change it to, I will go to my home and change the layout to blank. So I'll go to my insert and click on zoom, and click on section zoom. So as you can see, you have it's going to pick the section. This is section 1, which is my summary section, section 2 and section 3. So I'm just going to select section 2 and section 3. So you click insert, and if you notice, the first one, which is a summary zoom, arrange your summary slide automatically, as you can see. So it automatically puts it side by side, but this one this one will give you greater flexibility to arrange or adjust the position where you want your summary or your section zoom to be. So I'm going to position this here and this there. So if I go to my slideshow and click on this, it's going to show me to all the slides that I have. And if I move to this, you can see, so it moves in that particular angle of that particular summary section. So that's basically the difference between your summary zoom and section zoom. The section zoom creates a link to a section. When you are presenting, select it to jump to it. After you go through the slide in the section, you will return to the section zoom. Okay, so the last part of this zoom is the slide zoom. So I'm going to create another blank slide, and I will go to my zoom and select slide zoom. If I select slide zoom, it's going to show me all the slides that I have in my presentation. So I can select this slide. You can just select the slide that you want to use for presentation. So I'm just going to select these 3 slides, and I'm going to arrange them however I want to arrange them. So I'm going to put this here. So now the essence of arranging it this way, if I start with this and move on to this, is going to zoom in this angle, and also zoom in this particular angle as well. So okay, so if I click on the slide show and I click, it's going to move on to this to the angle over there, and
I said the other time
to that
next slide
angle.
And
so that is the using the zoom slide using slide zoom. So as you can see, create a link to the slide in your presentation. So you have these 3 slides. If you click on presentation and you click again, it's going to zoom to the next slide, which is 4, and if you click again, it's going to zoom to the next slide, which is slide 5. Now the other thing I want you to look at here is, if I go to my summary zoom and if I select my summary zoom, if you select my summary zoom or any of the zoom section, you're going to see another tab up here, which is zoom. If you click on this tab, you have more options. So you have zoom options, you have edit summary. So if I click on this and I click on anyone to edit, so if I decide to edit this, you can remove this, and I click update, so it's going to remain just 1. And if I click on edit summary, I can include more options, or I can remove and click update. I'm going to have it back here. So you can click on reset layout as well to reset your zoom layout. So here you can click, you can change image. So if I click on this and I click on change image, I click change image right here. I can change image from my computer. I'll go to my desktop and select an image, and change this image, I'll click on this and click insert. So it's going to insert that as my background. Okay, so I'm just going to undo that. So you can change image here, you can change your background image, basically background image. Then you can return to zoom. Then you have zoom transition. If I click here and I go to my zoom, if I uncheck this, return to zoom, and I click on my slideshow view, if I click on this, after showing me all the slide under it, it's just going to automatically go to the next section. It's not going to return to zoom. So I'm going to leave this. Then zoom transition, if you want to remove the zoom transition, you can uncheck this. It's going to remove the zoom transition. And if you want to check, if you also want to adjust duration, set the duration of the zooming transition, but you must check this to set this, as you can see. Then also we have zoom styles. So if you want to put a frame around your summary slide, you can do that. So anyhow you want to edit, you have zoom border. You can change the border color. You can add effect as well. So any effect of your choice. Then you have zoom background. So if you have you want to give it the zoom background, let's say you have a plain, but if you have an image as your background, it's not going to change it. So let's take for example, if I go to change image and I change this image to picture, to this picture for example, and if I go to zoom background, it's not going to change anything. So but if it's just a solid color like this, if your background is solid color and you go to zoom background, it's going to change the background to the zoom background. So I hope you get that. So but if you use an image, it's not going to remove the image. All right, so I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to reset image by removing the image. Okay, so now alternative text, we have arrange. All of these are in the other command that we have discussed. We've discussed bring forward, send back, selection pane, align, and all of that. So these are not new commands that we have right here. So basically that is all about zoom in Microsoft PowerPoint. So the next we want to look at is links. So in the next lesson, we'll be looking at links, how to use links in Microsoft PowerPoint.